The Fourth and Goal Podcast.
That's all it is. But there's a lot of airspace to cover for Milroe. Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught! Touchdown, Alabama!
Strebler dials it up. End zone! Touchdown!
They're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles! Touchdown!
There ain't no podcast like the Fourth and Goal Podcast. Like, hit that subscribe button and share.
Here we go. Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Podcast. Noah Drury alongside Andrew Burns. Justin thinks that the Fourth and Goal Podcast, just, his day off has been Tuesday lately, or really just any time during the week. So he's just a guy that only shows up on the weekends, it looks like.
The man's busy. He's got a lot of money to pay back to your mom.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, he's back in court. Oh, my God, Liberty just won on a FIU fumble. Wow. The freaking Flames moved to 5-0. Anyways, we don't care about CUSA football, though. Liberty, they might be in college football playoff contention potentially. If they
my pick looks strong. I think we all pick Liberty.
I think I said Boise and also App State, but we're not going to talk about that.
Hey, Boise's not a bad pick.
Oh, is the play going under review? Oh, shoot. Game's not over yet.
End it. I need my pick to stand.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the NFL first, and then we'll move on into our reactions to AP Top 25, talk about the Fourth and Goal poll, let Andrew talk about a couple games that he wasn't able to say anything on Saturday because, he had to go visit the National Space Station, blow it up. Not literally.
I got called.
Yeah.
It was a very emergency, national defense emergency I was called in for. I'm sorry I wasn't here.
The first game I wanted to get into was the game in London. Vikings, Jets. Robert Saleh is fired for the Jets as well. Jeff Ulbrich will be the interim head coach until they probably hire Bill Belichick, but it'll be besides the point. Yeah, man, talk me through your takeaways of this game, Andrew.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway I've got is Rodgers is getting old. Like, the dude doesn't look like the same guy. He's trying to do what he used to do, be it just be an hyper accurate passer and do what he does. Like, he threw, I don't remember how many picks did he throw this week?
3
this game. 3 picks.
Yeah.
Which is totally out of his character for what we've come to expect as, I feel
like he threw like 3 picks a season. Not right, but like those MVP years, like his interception numbers were low.
No, yeah, he has him and Brady, I believe they're tied for the longest longest consecutive passes without a pick in NFL history. Jared Goff's like 3rd, but who cares? It's just, I think that injury is still kind of tweaking him a little bit, which, that's kind of to be expected. The man's 40 years old and tore his ACL. It's
or
not
tore his Achilles, but
it's you don't really come back from that quickly. No one heals from that quickly.
Because when Kobe had his torn Achilles after he came, I'm just thinking of all sports. He didn't come back.
Yeah,
amazing. I don't know. It's actually an injury that I feel like sets you back a lot, and especially as a quarterback, just because of your footwork and mechanics, like it's going to throw you off. It doesn't help that he's also a grandpa, basically.
Right, like. We did see there was a couple passes where he does his Aaron Rodgers thing where he's somehow both feet are off the ground and he throws an absolute bullet to the receiver. And he did that a couple times, but I'm 90% sure one of his picks were just him trying to do too much of that. And that's what caused that pick.
My thing with Aaron Rodgers is that if you remember, Aaron Rodgers was like able to be like a mobile presence in the pocket when he was younger, not hurt, like he could actually get around and everything. Like when I watch him now, he's not that same quarterback that he once was.
We saw that guy come back. I believe it was the Patriots on Monday night, a week ago. And he was that guy. When
the Patriots offense doesn't really apply any pressure, it's kind of easy to make yourself look good.
A fringe top 5 defense in the league. they have a pretty good squad over there. It was
Yeah, Gerard Mayo is a very good defensive coach, and I mean they do a pretty good job in terms of just alignment and scheme fit wise. But
right. It's just
I mean, I don't think the Vikings played good in this game either. To be quite honest with you,
no, their defensive line did though. Their
Yeah.
overall, the Vikings probably had a B- C+ game. I mean, Sam Darnold probably had his worst game of the season, but the defense was. I mean, dude, the Jets had 36 total rushing yards.
you want to know something crazy? I went back and watched our first episode we actually ever did, which we'll get that uploaded to YouTube soon. It was our NFL preseason takes, which we spent way too much time on NFC North, but
That was
it was a 30-minute episode. And if you see every podcast we've ever done, I think our lowest one's been 53 minutes. Yeah, I think 53 minutes. And I think it was just a really bad pre-show week. But the Vikings, I thought were going to be like the worst team in the NFL, and no one really expected this. I don't want to hear anyone be like, "Oh, I predicted the Vikings to be a NFC North contender." Like, no, you thought they were going to be third or fourth, maybe second. You did not think they were going to be first. But I mean, this is the type of wins you need to get if you're the Vikings. You need to get those gutty, gritty wins and not have everyone play an B+ to A+ performance. Like, you got to have some bad games and be able to pull it out and win. That's something you want to see. I don't care against what team, if it's the Jets or the Chiefs, which the Chiefs might be unstoppable.
They just win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I agree. It's like you saw at the Lions when they dropped the Buccaneers game. This is going to be a very tight division. I was telling my buddy yesterday. Well, I've been saying this all season, but I was telling him yesterday how I think between the Vikings, Packers, and Lions, they're all splitting those games.
And I mean, the Bears are starting to look a lot better too.
Oh, they are. I think it's a potential all four make the playoffs. I don't think the Bears do. I think the Bears have kind of dug themselves too deep a hole.
I think the Commanders. Well, actually, Commanders lead the division, but someone from the Eagles and Cowboys.
Yeah, one of them makes it.
End up making it, or the Bucks and Falcons. I mean, the NFC at the top. I mean, yes, there's the bad teams at the bottom, like the Panthers and the Rams right now, and the Saints are coming back down to earth. The Giants kind of suck too. I mean, but this NFC, I feel like this is the first time where we've seen a good amount of parity in a while. Like, I'm saying, like, more than like 3 or 4 teams, because like I remember, dude, like the Commanders were like 8-7-1, and Taylor Heineke played like the best game of his career.
Yeah,
like
someone had to win that division.
There's going to be like a 10-6 team as the last team to make it into the playoffs. Is like the point that I'm alluding to. I think they're going to be pretty good.
I agree. I think your take on we've seen the switch is very real. Like, it used to be the AFC ran the NFL. All the best, like there was the Eagles and Niners in that. There was the Eagles and Niners in the NFC, and then all the other good teams were in the AFC. The Bills, the Chiefs, like just go down the list.
Bengals, Titans were pretty good for a while.
Exactly, Ravens. It was just AFC, and you're like, okay, well,
Steelers were always a playoff team.
Yeah, you're like, okay, the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl because they have these many more better teams. But now we've seen this total flip flop where the NFC now has all of these good teams. They're probably 10 teams deep with teams that could make the playoffs.
I mean, I'm gonna go through and list them really quickly. I think the Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Green Bay, maybe Chicago potentially, Falcons and Bucks, and then I guess the NFC West kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, one of those teams have to win the division.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be a division that doesn't make it off of my analysis right now, I mean, we'll see what the fully healthy San Fran and how they look, because when they do have all their guys, I mean, they made a Super Bowl last year. Like, they're a pretty good football team.
They're a damn good football team.
But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. But back to this game. I just think it was, like you said, it was that B-, C+ performance that the Vikings just needed to grit out and win. 3 picks helps a lot. Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to say that the Jets lost this game more than the Vikings won, but that's kind of how that's how I feel about it.
Sometimes if you're,
Vikings
I mean,
did
the Vikings are just going to be the luck. That's how you got to win games. Sometimes that's
it is.
really
It's a long
my.
season.
It's a long, long season. Moving on into other things. The Ravens getting that overtime win over the Bengals, dude. Joe
Yes.
Burrow played absolutely amazing, and so did Jamar and T. Higgins as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Lamar, dude, is this? I don't want to come out and be a little premature with this, but could we see a back-to-back MVP season?
Maybe. I
I
don't
mean, he has
I,
1,500 total yards already, 9 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's been averaging 8 yards per attempt, which is like pretty good in the NFL. Like this is, and he's doing it with not the greatest receiving room.
no, it's not.
I know he's got help in the backfield, but I mean, his leading receiver has been Zay Flowers, which only has 269 yards. When you have 1,206 yards and your leading pass catcher is just above a sixth of the production in the receiving room, like,
He's spreading the ball around.
yeah,
I'm looking at this game and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players caught the ball.
like,
And 5 different guys ran the ball. Like they had
no, this Ravens team, man. I know they're 3-2. They started out really slow, but they're really coming into their own. And I think the Bengals, I don't think their defense is necessarily elite, especially in the secondary. Cam Taylor-Britt looks like the new Eli Apple, but that's just because
God, no.
he's better than Eli Apple.
Please no.
But like, I mean, you still have Jermaine Pratt, you still have freaking Trey Hendrickson, you still have Logan Wilson. Like, there are some solid pieces on this defense. Sam Hubbard. Like, they have pieces on their defense, but their defense not being able to play a complete game, which I guess the Ravens really didn't either. But when this Bengals offense is rolling, like, they're guaranteed to at least reach 24. So it's tough for me to read, man. I don't know if the Bengals should blow it up or if they should still competing. I mean, their next 4 games are like pretty achievable: Giants, Browns, Eagles, and Raiders. But like, you should be able to go 3 and
Yeah.
you should be able to go 3-1. I mean, if you lose to the Eagles or Browns, I get it. And then after the Ravens, it's Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys, Titans. Like, this is a pretty like winnable schedule. I mean, I guess at the start, I mean, you play the Chiefs, the Commanders, and then the Ravens. Like, the Patriots is a bad loss, but I mean, they've had a tough schedule to start out the season. So maybe I kind of want to see what the direction of this next 4-game stretch is, because I think it's going to really determine what we're going to see from the Bengals. If they only win 1 or 2 games, I'm going to be like, dude, just
Yeah.
no.
It's they're hitting that point where
All
it's
right.
sink or swim.
That cut out for a second right there, but
Oh, sorry about
hello,
that. Hello?
Andrew.
Hello?
All right, I think we're good now. I think we had some.
I was like, wait, my
connection.
signal's not bad.
Nah. All right. Anyways, yeah, continue from where we were.
I was just saying, I think it's they're hitting the point where it's kind of sink or swim, and this was a very good game. They needed this game, even though they lost. And I'm not saying that this was a good loss. This was this hurt a lot. But
yeah, my buddy's a Bengals fan, and he was like, he's texting me. He's like, "We're gonna come back." No, we're not. He was getting he's very up and down.
yes, I mean that's the story of their season so far, man. But it's been very down so far.
Yeah.
But this game, I think, is going to be the breaking point where they either sink and they sell at the trade deadline, or they're going to make a push and try and get that one or 2 pieces that they do need, because this is not a complete team as much as Bengals fans probably want to believe it.
And Hendrickson just got extended, right? Or
Yes.
okay, that's what I thought. So I mean, it's not like he's a free agent at the end of the year or anything. Like, they just either Higgins is probably going to be gone after this
They have
year.
to do something with Higgins. I think he's going to be their key piece that they work with to trade at the deadline.
I think they should, because as much of value you can get. I mean, NFL you already have an elite receiver. It's not like you need 2 elite receivers, and Higgins, I mean, hey, if he wants to come to Detroit,
Dude, don't give me hope.
no, what would be, you know what, this would be a really good segment. And Justin, here's your in point. Where would be a great place for T. Higgins to land if hypothetically you got traded?
Commanders.
Commanders would be a good piece. I look at the Bills.
Yeah, they're kind of in cap hell.
Yeah. If they could make, yeah, you would have to give up a good amount. I mean, shoot,
potentially the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams would be a good place. I think the Colts. If they wanted to trade one of their younger, their receiving room's pretty young. I mean, you have Michael Pittman, but other than that, you got Josh Downs, you got a Donnie Mitchell. If you wanted to move one of those two pieces, like,
yeah,
and give the Bengals something,
right? I could see
Kansas City.
I want to say actually, yes.
They for sure could.
Maybe I don't think this would ever happen, but potentially like the Chargers.
Yeah, I was thinking the Chargers too, but I don't know.
I don't think Harbaugh would do that. Harbaugh wouldn't let that happen.
Because I think the Bengals need help in the secondary, whether it's at the safety or corner position. And what do the Chargers have to offer? Asante Samuel, maybe?
But, I mean, they also need offensive line help because that offensive line is not doing.
Well, I don't know how much the Bengals can. I mean, I know their offensive line's not bad, but
no, I mean the Bengals need offensive line help.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think T. Higgins is worth one of their prime offensive linemen, but
right,
maybe like. So I don't know names off the top of my head. I don't watch the Chargers enough. That's my bad.
Could you imagine a Drake London and T. Higgins wide receiver? Well, no, they don't.
Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
Maybe the Saints. Honestly, the Saints wouldn't be a bad place for him to go either, because he'd be a really nice piece to put next to Olave. I don't know what.
They want. Why am I forgetting his name? Raiders.
Devontae.
Yeah, they want to. It's Devontae is going to either everything we're hearing is Raiders or Jets. He wants to play with Carr or Rodgers again.
Yeah. Well, I think Devontae Adams is a little bit of a step behind, but he's also had Aiden O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, and
he's had no help.
Yeah,
he's been force-fed the ball and just been absolutely mauled for the last 2 years.
And who's the wide receiver? Jacoby Myers. I mean, he's not bad, but. And then you got Trey Tuck. Yeah, no, this receiving room's actually terrible.
They got Brock Bowers.
Yeah. Also, screw you, Michael Mayer, for never panning out to be any good.
Dude, I drafted him too. It's okay.
Well, I drafted him in my dynasty league, and I'm like, dude,
yeah, that's even worse.
And I think he needs to be traded. Like, I hope he's gone out of Las Vegas and somewhere new, because I still think that kid has a lot of potential to be a good blocker and pass catcher. Go look at his film from Notre Dame, man.
Send him to Detroit.
There is a reason why there was no tight end even close to him in terms of rankings in that draft class of 2023.
Him and Laporta were the top two, and he was way far above.
Even
though Laporta got drafted first, which I think that was the correct call.
But. Yeah. I think there's something that the NFL scouts like, but the Lions really didn't need blocking tight ends at the point. We need
Zylstra.
Yeah, we just need pass catchers. So in terms of scheme fit. It makes sense.
I mean, Myers and Laporta on the same offense would be kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I would die.
I wanted Bowers so bad this year, and for the Lions. Like I was a big push because I wanted to sit I wanted to sit in 12 man, and I wanted to run two tight ends on either side. Amon-Ra Primo wide, and then just. Okay, we're either gonna run it down your face.
The problem is that that wouldn't work in terms of scheme fit though, because even if you do run 12 personnel, I mean that's just not gonna end up working out great for you, because two receiving tight ends that aren't particularly great at blocking. Like there's a reason why Oscar Delp did play a good amount behind Brock Bowers, just because Oscar Delp could actually block, and Brock Bowers, while he's not terrible at blocking, he's not. He doesn't meet that average position grade.
True, but the Lions' offensive line is way better than Georgia's.
That's also very true.
So, like, they don't need to block as much as
but I mean, they still use Delp. last year. I mean, Darnell
Yeah.
Washington, he wasn't like he was there when he played.
No, but just
He,
imagine that offense where we line up in 12 and
if we
where
had
line up in
if
12
we
man
actually
personnel.
had like a top 5 quarterback, I'd say go for it. But
If we line up in 12 personnel and other teams were just like,
it's either 12
deal
or
with
20.
our running game.
I get
You
it so
can't.
I get it so confused between 12 and 21, but it might be actually 21. Anyways.
Oh, am I wrong? I don't know.
I-
I've been saying 12 for a year.
Yeah, it might be 12. I think
No one's corrected me.
yeah.
But
I
I just
think
thought it'd be
I think
awesome.
people when you one running back, 2 tight ends there. That's all
Yes.
you need to know.
So it would be 12.
Other games, I'm gonna be completely honest. Oh, let's talk about Trevor Lawrence, man. And he played pretty well in this last game, I thought. And I mean, Tanks Bigsby being able to run the ball, and he's been a hot fantasy pickup. I saw he's the number 1 trending player on Sleeper. I mean, Flacco, dude. I think the AFC South, while the records are not great in this division, dude, I think it's still going to be a very competitive league down to, other than maybe the Titans. They did just pick up a win over the Dolphins until having a bye week.
Are anemic.
Well, they won.
The Dolphins suck.
They still won.
It's crazy how bad they are.
Yeah,
they lost.
No, I mean, I don't think the Titans are necessarily going to be competitive, but I think they'll still sneakily win a couple of games. I mean, Will Levis, I'm out. I'm not a big Will Levis guy. I've been sold on. I haven't been a Will Levis guy since he transferred to Kentucky, even when he was at Penn State. That's how much I'm a Will Levis hater. He's still known for putting mayonnaise in his coffee, bro. Like,
that mayonnaise commercial is terrible.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So
he's got to help.
Justin, put in that mayonnaise commercial.
Please,
clip of this.
Put in the part where he's doing the like.
Actually, let me pull this up really quickly. I want to see this reaction.
It's so bad.
Will Levis mayo commercial.
We're doing it live.
All right, let me see. Okay, I see. All right, let me do something real quickly.
Oh, he's live editing, folks.
No, I'm putting here we go. All right. Will Levis mayo commercial. All right, can you guys see my screen? Awesome.
Yes, we can.
All right, we're gonna look at this live. Whoa, I gotta
need to unmute yourself.
May your team make haste, and your dip bring out the best taste.
Okay.
Num num.
What?
May your delicious dip be served hot, while your quarterback plays it cool. Impressive.
What am I
May your
watching?
dip,
Just wait.
and your quarterback dreamy. Oh, hey. May your game face be as vicious as your buffalo chicken dip is delicious.
What am I? Why is he doing the Heisman pose?
May your game day be delicious. May your
That was terrible. Oh
I told you it's bad, but it's so good.
my God, what did I watch? Wow. Yeah.
It's so good.
Dang.
It's Will Levis. All they were missing was him putting it in his coffee.
Wow. Yeah, that is true. But back to Jacksonville and Colts. I mean, I just wanted to say, dude, Jacksonville, I know they started out 0-4, but like I still think this roster is like it's kind of the same thing as the Bengals. Like they still have a lot of pieces to be contenders in the AFC South. I mean, you got Christian Kirk, you got Brian Thomas, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Like there's a lot of good pieces on offense for you. And I mean, defensively, I mean, Trayvon Walker, he's been developing better and better every year. Devin Lloyd, their secondary is not terrible. I mean, like this is like a team that I could see like, you know, in December, like they are trying to make a backdoor push to be a contender in the NFL and competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah. What do we what's your thoughts on, I guess, because I don't know how I feel about it. ETN has kind of just become a dual threat. Like he's not the running back that everyone kind of thought he was going to be. He's kind of become this pass catcher. He's going to get like 10-ish touches a game.
Yeah, he's going to get like 10 to 15 touches a game. I mean, ETN is just he was hurt his first season, so we got to take that into a factor. I think that really set back his development in running back lifespans in the NFL are really short. It's like, the 15 minutes of fame, like the Tingo Skura guy or like the Hawk Tua girl or like,
Tua is a thing.
Yeah, the Talk to a podcast, man. I can't believe people actually watch that. But that's besides the point. Who are some other like Shaq West with Mo Bamba, even though that song's still a classic. Like
DeAndre, not Kerryon Johnson. I'm just gonna go back to football.
Yeah. Like.
Oh, you muted yourself there, guy.
My mic. I mean, people that have like their 15 minutes of fame. I mean, that's just kind of what he's becoming as I switch back to the microphone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's playing bad. He's still averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
Like going.
Well, you're talking about 15 minutes of fame. I just wanted to know what you thought about Travis Etienne.
No, I'm just. Why did I even bring that up? Is my main question. I don't know.
All right, next game. I actually let me just look at games. I want to talk about Falcons Bucks a little bit.
Yeah,
touched on it. That was a really good game. I thought that was probably the best Thursday night game of the year so far.
Probably gonna be the best Thursday night game. It's probably the best Thursday night game on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. But Cousins.
You did say the next week's game, 49er. No, that's not good.
What's it? Niners.
Niners Seahawks. I mean,
that'll be an interesting game. We'll let you know after the game happens.
Yeah. We will be going live Thursday night, so make sure you are tapped in and get your notifications turned on for YouTube. Unless you're an audio listener, which we still love you, just make sure you listen the next.
Yeah, but I'm sorry you didn't get to watch the Will Levis Mayo commercial if you're an audio listener.
Well, they heard it.
But yeah, I want to talk about just the offenses that went crazy on Thursday, especially in overtime. Atlanta kind of just threw a ball up to Darrell Hodge. It's for second reception of the game, goes for 45 yards and the touchdown to win in overtime. But Kirk went for 509 yards passing.
Moneybag Kirk, baby.
Dude, he went crazy.
There's a reason you got paid all that money, man.
Dude, Drake and Darnell Mooney as well. Both over 100 yards receiving.
I mean, Kyle Pitts looked pretty good too. I mean,
Kyle Pitts.
Can we talk about how disappointing tight ends have been this year? Oh my gosh.
No, I posted on TikTok a picture. It was just the Goff touchdown last weekend, and then it cut to a picture, and it was Kelsey was on there, Pitts was on there, or Pitts might have been. I don't remember. It was like 7 players, and half of them were tight ends, and it was all players that have less touchdowns than Jared Goff receiving this year.
Yeah,
like it's crazy how depressing tight ends have been.
Yeah. Back to this game.
Yes. Pitts.
I didn't watch all that much of this game. I would be completely honest. I went back and watched some highlights, obviously, because it was a good game. But
I was glued.
I also don't. I'm like, dude, it's another Amazon Prime game. I don't really watch these to begin with. I'll go back and watch the highlights.
That's fair. I'm forgetting his name, but I like the broadcasters on Thursday.
Oh, Herb Street and
I like Herbie, and then I'm forgetting his name.
Oh my god, who's their play-by-play guy? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's beside. Oh, isn't it Al Michaels?
It might be.
I think so. Let me look this up really quick.
I'm looking it up.
Thursday night.
It doesn't tell me.
Football commentary crew.
Oh, Herb Street and
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I just like Al Michaels. I mean, he's a pro's pro. He's been doing it forever.
Yeah,
he's good to listen to. But I mean, dude, Ray McLeod went for 66 yards, Hodge 67, Pitts 88.
Yeah, like everyone ate in the receiving room on this Falcons.
He dispersed the ball so well. I mean, they didn't run the ball very well, but that was expected against Vita Vea came back and he made his presence known this game. Like the Buccaneers defensive line looked really good, sacked Kirk 4 times. And I mean, the Falcons offensive line ain't that bad, but they still sacked him 4 times. It was,
I mean, when you drop back 60 times, like you're gonna get sacked.
100%.
So it kind of makes a lot of sense.
But
There's
both teams.
I wanted to say there's only one more game I want to get to.
Okay.
The game that went, Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions in 2 different days.
Good point.
I don't know, dude. I mean, both these teams really didn't look like any good. Completely be honest. Like, I mean, like, can I say the Cowboys? DeMarvion Overshown. If you go back into the 2020, it might have been 2022 draft when he got drafted out of Texas, dude. I had my old podcast. I did a episode of just like picks of like guys that I liked in like the third like day 2, day 3 picks. And dude, he was one of the guys. He didn't have like consistent play at Texas, but that defense was also bad and that team is bad. But dude, his highs at Texas, I was like, dude, if this kid could keep it up, this kid could play. And you know what? It's looking like a really good take from me. So
that's a fantastic take. Way to pull back your receipts, man.
Go check if you don't believe me, it might have been 2023 NFL draft, but go back and watch that. I don't
imagine being a Steelers fan and going to this game for them to lose on a last second touchdown, and then you got to drive that hour drive home out of Pittsburgh
at like 1
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, it wasn't as late as the Cal Miami game, but
no, but like just imagine. I
don't know what to make of the Steelers, dude. I mean, like the wins against the Broncos and Chargers don't look good. You played close with the Colts. I guess your schedule's actually pretty easy the next 3 games, but dude, oh my God, why is their schedule caked? Oh, their end of the schedule is so tough.
Because
you want to hear this end of the schedule?
Yeah, end
of season. So after their bye week, which is November 3rd, that Sunday. After that, they play the Commanders, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals.
I mean, the Ravens are going to lose too, but beyond that, and the Chiefs, that's pretty cake. That's a pretty. I mean,
I'm saying it's not cake. I don't think it is necessarily cake.
Well, I mean, they play the Ravens twice. The Browns, I don't have any faith in, so I'm not super.
I'm just saying, but like, I don't think the Steelers are also going to be able to like do anything. Like their offense is just
they need to ride. They'll go as far as their defense can take them.
Yeah, which Mike Tomlin's a really good coach. So
exactly.
Has Arthur Smith found his? Is he using George Pickens as a decoy this year? No, not yet. That'll come very soon.
Not as Kyle Pitts.
Not as Kyle or Bijan.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith last year.
Bijan still ain't getting carries, man.
It's kind of I mean, like you said, against the Bucs, it's tough, but
no, but they kept going to Algier, and I'm like, Algier's not doing anything. Bijan's actually getting you yards when he touches the ball. And they kept putting Algier in the game.
Dude, if I were him, I'd get out of there, bro. Because there's a lot of teams that could use a running back of his talent. Because I'd argue, like, in terms of talent, like, Bijan's a top 5 running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what? Him, Henry.
Him, Williams, Henry, Gibbs, potentially.
And then, McCaffrey's 1.
Then I'd probably say Bijan's 3. I think there's a tie for like the 3 drafted last year. They're probably at 4, just all 3 of them.
Who?
Williams, Bijan, and Gibbs.
Williams, dude. Why am I blanking on that?
Kyron Williams with the Rams.
I'd say K9's up there too.
Okay, I think K9's probably sitting at 5 just because he's injury prone. And I mean,
Kamara's still pretty good. Saquon's still pretty good.
Saquon for me is probably 3. I think I'd go CMC.
Dude, like the Bijan. Oh, actually, no, let's not do that. I was gonna say Bijan could go to the Steelers, but never mind.
No, he'd die.
But like, I mean, the Bengals could use Bijan.
Anytime the Steelers get first round draft picks that aren't Jerome Bettis, they suck. Or they're great for like 2-3 years and then they just lose their minds.
Yeah, like Najee's. I mean, he's okay, but
Najee, Le'Veon.
No, Le'Veon was good in the NFL.
He was the best running back in the league for 2 years.
Yeah,
And then he
Stuff
didn't want to get franchise tagged.
stuff happened. Uh,
Well, he was
that whole
he was-
Juju, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger in controversy earlier in his career.
Personally, I think he kind of just wanted to play football, and then the rest of the squad was just like, no, we got to play the rest of the noise. And
Probably went to Diddy parties. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we know Le'Veon, he had a bit of a drama queen to him, but he wasn't to the level of the rest of that team.
Isn't he boxing now? I thought I saw something.
I don't know. The dude was always jacked, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I want to say it, dude. Like when athletes like Nate Robinson, when they randomly just disappear and then come back, like it's always in boxing.
For real.
All
right, we're getting off topic. Let's go to
the AP top. You want to do our fourth and goal? You want to do our fourth and goal poll or the AP top 25?
Let's do the fourth and goal poll, then we can compare the two.
Okay. So the fourth and goal poll, which if you're watching on YouTube, will appear on your screen. And for you audio listeners, it's Texas at 1, Ohio State at 2, Oregon at 3, Georgia at 4, Alabama at 5, 6 Miami, 7 Penn State, 8 newcomer Texas A&M, number 9 Ole Miss. They sat at where they were last week. That's like the only one out of like after 2 that I like didn't have to move. I think Penn State stayed at the same
Texas.
too. Texas A&M.
Well, no, Texas didn't move either.
Oh yeah, I guess I guess.
Or Ohio State.
I'm saying like I had to like completely revamp this whole thing. It was really chaotic.
I believe that.
Iowa State at 10, making their first appearance. Notre Dame at 11, also making their first appearance. And Tennessee dropping all the way from 4 to 12.
Was this really Notre Dame's first time in our top 12?
I think so.
I thought I put them in mine after week 1.
You know what?
They might have been in week 2.
I will fact check that for you, actually. Let me see.
I know they dropped after they lost to NIU, but
they're not in this one. I have way too many files, by the way. Let me go
anyway, while you're looking for that, I will break down some of our thoughts on this list.
I'll go to Instagram and look because it's gonna be way easier than through my files.
I'll start breaking this down for us. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia. Pretty obvious top 4. Georgia, they're now 4-1, which that's kind of to be expected. They did lose to Bama, but they're above Bama just because, in our opinion, Bama lost to Vandy, and we've talked on this podcast a lot. We love Vandy, but they did lose to an unranked team, so we did have to drop Bama more than we've dropped Georgia and move Georgia back up into that top 4. Ohio State, of course, they've just been dominant. They haven't needed to open their playbook up very much. Will Howard's been a little shaky, but the rest of that team is just so good. They have the highest payroll.
Well, people in the TikTok comments think that Will Howard's like the greatest thing since CJ Stroud. So
I know, but
I think the better
higher on Howard than you are. But I think McCord's better than Howard, though.
I
100% agree with you.
And if you really want to argue that, and I'll come out and say this, I'm going to take it off the screen for a second. Justin, here's your endpoint. Kyle McCord is a way better quarterback than Will Howard's in terms of a passer. Does Kyle McCord have the same running ability? No, he doesn't. But McCord, in terms of impactfulness, I mean, look at Syracuse, bro. I'm not saying that Syracuse is a bad team, but ain't this Ohio State team around him? And tell me why he's playing better outside Ohio State at Syracuse than he did at Ohio State. I also don't think Hartline was also the greatest OC. I know he's a great positions coach, but in terms of calling the offense, I think Chip Kelly also wouldn't really fit with the Kyle McCord stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a scheme fit thing, but in terms of overall talent, bro, I'm taking McCord over Howard.
Dude, imagine McCord throwing to all these receivers.
Yeah, no, I mean, McCord would be a Heisman candidate.
McCord would be above probably Ward for me right now, just in pure passer.
I wonder what do you know Kyle McCord's odds to win the Heisman? It's not going to happen.
Oh, I can pull him up quickly.
Yeah. Where is he ranked out of everyone? Because he's definitely got to be top 20.
Heisman rankings odds 2024. Kyle McCord. I got to go down a little bit here. Will Howard is, I think, above him. Donovan Edwards is still on this list. That's depressing. All right, I'm just control I-ing because I don't feel like looking for all this. Or control F.
Oh man. In other news, I'll pull the poll back up.
Kyle McCord is plus 1750. 17,500.
Oh boy.
He is way down this list.
I mean, I don't think
way down.
I don't think he's gonna win it, obviously, but
Actually, you're gonna be happy about this. Ashton Jeanty now has the best odds to win the Heisman, according to every betting site.
As he should.
Then Travis Hunter, then Cam Ward, Jaden Milroe. Hey, Dylan Gabriel's number 5.
No.
Dylan Gabriel's number 5.
He will drop after this week. Actually,
Dylan Gabriel's number 5.
I will say this. You remember last year? He actually played really good against Texas. I will say that.
I think thought Texas he looked better than Will Howard did against the Michigan State secondary.
Yeah, I
get he also has. I mean, the receiving core at Oregon is not better than the receiving core at Ohio State either, and they looked better.
It's not that much of a fall off, though.
No, but they looked significantly better than Ohio State did. It might be a scheme difference. Like Oregon's kind of built to beat Michigan State. But I don't know. They also, that defense was on the field for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you.
We'll see this weekend. We will see this weekend.
Yeah.
I had Alabama and Georgia, I think, at 6 and 7 in my poll. I just slotted up Penn State, Miami, because I know Penn State hasn't looked great, but they've won all their games, and Alabama and Georgia haven't looked great. I'll be completely honest. I think both of those teams are kind of overrated at what they're at. I don't think either of them are top 3 teams in the country right now. And based on how they've played, I don't think necessarily, or I think like Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas, like, yes, Oregon struggled early in the season, but as of late, I know they haven't played great competition, but they've taken care of football teams. They haven't been playing with their food. Ohio State's been pretty good. I mean, Texas, dude. Texas, bro. Like Texas is overall the best team in the country right now, without a doubt. I like A&M at 8, and here's why. Wegman's been having shoulder problems since like the last year. And in week 1, I think with him just getting pressured and sacked a ton, I don't think it was just a good fit for him to play against Notre Dame. But when he played against Missouri last year, I know he didn't have a touchdown, but you look at some of the throws he had to like Noah Thomas and Le'Veon Moss being able to get it done in the ground game, dude, like elite. He's not an elite quarterback, but I still think the, Connor Wegman 2024 draft, like if he continues to keep this type of play up, bro, he could be there. Ole Miss, I know they handled South Carolina, but I wasn't necessarily impressed with. Jackson Dart missed a few easy throws. Like Ole Miss should have won that game by 40 or 50, and they didn't.
Yeah. Jackson Dart's been a little lackluster compared to what he was built up to be coming into this season.
I didn't think he was going to be like all that good. Like
I put it what the talking head said. I didn't know enough about him before.
Guys that are just on projected great teams that play quarterback are going to be talked about greatly because they kind of have to get good numbers on their show. Which, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want good numbers. Obviously, I do. But, 14 for 7, 27, and 285, that is not a good game. Yes, did he still have over – yeah, and, I mean, he didn't play bad. But, dude, when you have Juice Wells, Jordan Watkins, and Trey Harris, bro, I mean, you should be able – those are going to be 3 NFL players right there. Priestcorn's going to be –
the second best receiving core in the country.
Priestcorn too. I mean, he's going to be an NFL draft. He's probably going to be the second tight end taken in this draft.
Also, his son is adorable.
I don't know. Oh yeah, no. Shout out Callie Priest. She does a really good job.
She does. That's one of my favorite TikTok accounts every Monday to check out.
Bump.
Lucky bumps. Either way, if you haven't seen them their TikTok, check out the 4th and Goal Pod TikTok,
and then check out Callie Priestcorn's TikTok because it's pretty cool.
It's fantastic.
Even if he is 24 in college, but I love Caden Priestcorn. I think he's a good quarterback or a good tight end.
And he's a star.
Yeah, no.
on the field. He's doing claps for him. He's doing good work.
Yep. Iowa State at 10, dude.
I had him a little lower on my list, but I like Iowa State a lot.
Where I'll pull up my rankings really quick.
I'm still upset Indiana did not make the list. They were, for me, at 12, which I get. We do the points ranking, and I was the only one to have them on the list. So I knew they weren't going to be on there, but I would take Indiana over. I don't remember the official list now. I had Indiana at 12. I had them over Clemson and Notre Dame.
I think that's a little biased there.
How is it biased?
They've
looked better than Notre Dame has in every game so far.
Whoa. I would not go. Notre Dame's played way more legit competition than Indiana.
I don't care.
I will say this.
Indy went into the Rose Bowl and dropped 50 on them. That same team then just came to Happy Valley and gave a scare to Penn State.
This is the point I'm gonna make. Indiana's offense is amazing. I will give you that. Like,
defense is good too.
Not that good.
Not to the same level as like Notre Dame's.
Not better than Notre Dame's. Not better than Clemson. Not better than Clemson's. Defense wins championships, bro.
Defense wins championships, but offense wins games.
Yeah, I don't care. I base this off
head. Notre Dame's offense carries them through both those matchups. I'm also not that sold on Clemson, so you're not going to be able to convince me Clemson's better than Indiana.
Clemson's getting better and better every
Their
week.
Their defense just, I don't think, isn't good enough to stack up against what Indiana can do.
I will say their secondary concerns me, but I think their front seven's still fine, dude. I mean, you get 6 TFLs and 2 sacks. I mean, Florida State, I know they've been terrible, but like their offensive line did return a lot of production.
I know. I just need to get on my soapbox about Indiana. I'm pushing an agenda.
I mean, like, I do agree. Indiana's a top 15 team, but they need to actually play someone with kind of a pulse. Like, the best team they've played is Northwestern, and I think Northwestern's a bottom 5 to 6 team. Maybe
who do they play next?
I want to say they play Nebraska next, but I could be wrong.
Indiana plays. Are they on the bye? They're on a bye this week.
Oh, well, that sucks. Well, they'll move up. They'll probably move someone in the top 12.
No, then they go to Nebraska.
Yeah,
no, that's in Bloomington. Never mind. Wrong Memorial Stadium.
That'll be a really good indication on how I feel about, because I think Nebraska is like a top 20 in terms of just talent, top 20-ish, top 30-ish team. So
yeah, but I think we've been given the formula how to beat Nebraska. Illinois showed us. And you know who does what Illinois did but better?
Curtis Warwick. No, Curtis Warwick's a good quarterback. Like, he's going to be a good day 3 quarterback to have develop.
Curtis Warwick's going to dime up Nebraska's defense, and they're going to run it 115 yards.
I don't know.
And it's going to be.
I don't know about.
I'm calling it right now. They're going to win by a touchdown and a half.
Okay.
Double-digit win for Indiana when Nebraska comes to town, especially on a weak spread. Eddie's going to have the boys ready.
Okay. Well,
okay. I'm coming off my agenda pushing.
There's not a line for this game. There's not a line for this game. Yeah, I mean, who? And then I didn't put Tennessee in my poll. I thought their loss to Arkansas was way worse because, like, Alabama, while their defense hasn't been good, we kind of put that into our projections of Alabama, of their just secondary being really bad. I mean, Vanderbilt played an A+ game.
They did. They needed to play their
like Alabama's still like a 14-point favorite if that game's played again.
100%.
But Tennessee, bro, you looked awful and lost to Arkansas, putting in Singleton, their backup quarterback, into the game.
I think that's one of those. We talked about Lane Kiffin dropping an inexplicable game. I think that was Tennessee's drop.
I think this is way worse than Ole Miss.
It 100% is, but this might be one of those.
I forgot who did Ole Miss even lose to last week? I already forgot.
I don't. Ole Miss lost to Kentucky.
Oh,
Kentucky's
a better team than Arkansas.
Yes, I agree.
That Texas A&M like dark horse pick to make the playoffs not so crazy anymore. But
Yeah, Texas A&M. That's actually a pretty good. That was a good dark horse pick.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
All right, we'll talk about the AP top 25, and then we'll kind of do a under the hood segment of like really looking at everything before. We'll call it the what's a good name? I'm trying to think. We'll call it the mechanic shop. This will be where we go back and look at everything more thoroughly, games we weren't able to talk about on Saturday. And I know you weren't there on Saturday, but some games that you want to highlight. But looking at the AP poll, man, I don't think Georgia should be the 5th team, to be quite honest with you. I hate that they're the 4th team. I think they could be 6th. Although I will say they did not look good against Auburn, but AP voters were like, "Oh, they won, so who cares? They're Georgia, they'll be fine." Which Colby Young, one of their pass catchers in the receiving room, the transfer from Miami, arrested for some sort of assault charge. So
I'm gonna let you ramble for a second. I really got to use the bathroom.
Okay,
that's
fine.
This looks terrible, but I'm gonna die. Hang on.
It's all right.
Let's run it for a second. You got this.
I'll run through the AP top 25 and get my thoughts. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Ohio State. 3, Oregon. 4, Penn State. 5, Georgia. 6, Miami. 7, Alabama. 8, Tennessee. 9, Ole Miss. 10, Clemson. 11, Iowa State. Tied with Notre Dame at 11. 13, LSU. 14, BYU. 15, Texas A&M. 16, Utah. 17, Boise State. 18, Indiana, tied with Oklahoma and Kansas State. 21, Missouri. 22, Pitt. 23, Illinois. 24, Michigan. 25, SMU. I'll kind of start from the bottom and work my way up. I'm glad SMU is ranked because they did drop a stinker early in the season to BYU. BYU is a top 15 team, and guess what? They just picked up a pretty good win against Louisville too. Their schedule's pretty easy from here on out, man. Stanford and Duke, I think those are both pretty achievable games. Pitt's going to be a tough test. Pitt's actually a pretty good team this season. And then Boston College, Virginia, and Cal. I think Cal can give them a run for their money, but I think still SMU is a pretty good football team. I don't know if Michigan should be in there. I'd rather put Nebraska or even an Army or Navy in there. Pitt at 22, I feel good about. Mizzou at 21. I think that's kind of set where the range this team is going to be at. I think Missouri is a top 25-ish team. I don't think they're great. I think the receiving room's solid in terms of talent and production-wise. They haven't been that good, but I think Mizzou's a good team. The whole 8 teams, I don't think Oklahoma is going to end up being a top 25 team after the next couple of weeks. That's my personal opinion. And Kansas State, I think, is properly rated at 18 with Indiana. I say Indiana and Kansas State are pretty similar in terms of how I feel about them. Boise State at 17, baby. How about it?
I agree. I think they deserve to be there.
I just went from the bottom up. Is there anything that looks stands out to you in terms of 25 through 17 in the AP
25 through 17?
Anything you want to make a major claim on?
Michigan doesn't deserve to be a top 25 team.
Yeah, I said either Nebraska or Army or Navy deserve to be in there.
Oh, give me both my service academies.
Not over SMU.
No, move SMU to 23. Drop Missouri out of the top 25.
Oh, I think that's too. I mean, Missouri's still been I know I'm Missouri's biggest hater, whatever, but they beat a good Vanderbilt team. Hey,
they've been kind of fraudulent, but
I totally agree. I don't think they were a top 10 team coming into this year. I thought they were top 25-ish, and I think where they're at is perfect right now in terms of how this team is.
Army and Navy are.
If they were to play on a neutral field tomorrow, you're telling me Army and Navy are going to beat Missouri tomorrow.
I think Navy definitely does.
I don't think Army's
Missouri's biggest problem is they don't stop the run very well, and Navy's got the second best rusher in the country.
Yeah, I will agree. I don't think I honestly don't know if Army's gonna be there at the end of the season. I think Navy actually has good potential to be. I don't know about Army.
No, I don't think Army will. They just they don't got the horses on the outside.
No.
I get their offensive line's playing pretty good this
Schedule
year.
has
but
also been really cheese.
That's true. It always is. They play. They don't
Why
play.
does UNLV not even have a single vote? I know they lost to Syracuse, but like Syracuse is a kind of good football team.
I think
whatever.
Louisville only getting 4 is a crime.
Nah, I mean, 2 one-possession losses to the top 25 teams, but yeah, I agree. They should be in over Michigan.
I would take, honestly, any of the top 4 teams that got votes, Army, Navy, Nebraska, and SMU, or USC, put them in over Michigan or Missouri.
I'm happy Pitt's ranked. I'm glad Illinois just moves up.
Illinois is just doing what they need to do, man.
Yeah,
Brett
like
Bielema's got the boys working.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what you expect Illinois' ceiling to be. I don't think Oklahoma is. I think Oklahoma, like defensively, is a top 10-ish. But I think as a team, I don't know how I feel about their ranking. I think Kansas State and Indiana are pretty comparable and similar. I know Kansas State ended up losing to once again BYU, but I mean, we'll see against Colorado this week. That'll be a fun.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana is bowl eligible.
They are.
Yeah,
can we talk about how Utah just like completely fell off the face of the earth?
They're not the team. They're not who I thought they were going to be going into this year. Granted,
Cam Rising, yeah.
The Cam Rising effect is in full effect. The lack thereof in this case, but I think if he can come back probably by 2 weeks from now, like in full force,
I'm just convinced he's never. I actually am convinced he hates football because.
Hey, there's a lot to do in Utah. He's excited to go do it.
Yeah, a lot of family members. Anyways,
then we got Texas A&M, BYU. Talking about family members, BYU.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M should be above LSU and BYU. I think LSU is probably the most overrated team in the AP poll. I mean, we'll see this weekend against Ole Miss, but like. Dude, UCLA by 17, South Carolina by 3, a 7-point loss to USC. I was
going to say the USC loss doesn't look as good as it should.
No, it's just SEC bias in this poll. I will say.
Oh, it always is every year. I mean, you remember how long it took? We're Michigan State fans, so we're going to put a little green and white glasses on this. But you remember all the times D'Antonio would go 7-1, 8-2. Whatever, and he'd be in like MSU would be like ranked 18. Yeah. You're like, how the hell are they ranked 18th in the country?
My thing is like, look at Tennessee last year, dude. They were like awful with Joe Milton. I'm sorry, that team was not good.
They had Joe Milton. That was their problem.
Yeah,
it can throw for 80 yards from his knees, but
it doesn't
hit someone in the hands.
No, I mean, but I mean, like,
I think we're more accurate than Joe Milton is.
I mean, I would be Dan Lanning's favorite quarterback. That's all I'll say. No, I don't like LSU. I think I'm fine where BYU is, man. They continue to win.
Oh yeah,
they are, and they have 2 top 25 wins now. The game, I do want to see what they do against Arizona because I think Arizona could give them a little bit of a push.
They're about to kick some ass this weekend, though.
Yeah,
at Wyoming.
They play Arizona this week, I thought. Yeah.
Am I looking at the wrong list? No, I'm looking at the right list. It says
who? BYU?
BYU plays at Wyoming.
They play home versus Arizona. Are you looking at basketball?
I'm looking at an outdated list, I think. Hang on. I'm not looking at an outdated list, though, because all of our numbers I have the right teams. Why is it?
They beat Wyoming 34-14.
Oh, that makes sense then. It just has the wrong date on there. Because it says 9-14, and I'm like,
that doesn't make sense.
Why does it say 9-14 on there?
Is that the start time?
No, 4:15 p.m. EDT. Now I don't know, man. They think they typoed. They put a typo on this list. It's okay.
Anyways,
moving on.
And then the top 12: Notre Dame, Iowa State, Clemson. I think they're all in their proper position. Maybe move Iowa State or Notre Dame up over like Tennessee. I think Tennessee deserves to get a way harsher drop in the rankings.
4 spots wasn't enough.
I mean, they should be able to beat Florida. We'll see. I hope Florida. I know Graham Mertz actually looks pretty good in their last game against UCF.
I mean, we're higher on Vandy than we are on Arkansas, and Alabama had a further fall.
I mean, like it's not that I'm low. I think Arkansas's got good talent, but in terms of just attention to detail, like Arkansas is not good, bro. Like they make too many just like mental mistakes. They're just not a mentally tough football team, in my opinion.
Mental mistakes are going to be a bigger killer than just physical mistakes.
Yeah. And then Alabama, Miami, Georgia. I think head-to-head matchups matter, but I also think the Vandy loss is not a good loss for
Agreed.
Alabama. So worst case scenario, I think Miami should be above Georgia. I know Miami's came out of some really tough games, but I mean, look at Georgia versus Kentucky. Like you're telling me Kentucky's that much better than Cal or Virginia Tech? I don't think so.
I think Miami should be at 5. I agree with you.
I know they haven't looked amazing, but they've looked good in second halves, dude. Like best they look like the best team in the country in second halves, offensively and defensively.
Yeah. And now for all of the Big Ten fans in the room,
Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State.
When's the last time we saw, if this was the 4-team playoff, the only non-Big Ten team would be Texas?
Well, Big Ten Conference Championship, Miami or Georgia will slide in there, but
that's a good point. But right now, as it sits,
well, yeah, especially if we had the East versus West too, because Oregon would be in the West. Wow,
yeah, we would get all 3 of them in. Because
I'm surprised Ohio State didn't get more first place votes. I'll be completely honest with you. I think 9's a little low. I agree. They haven't. I think the best team they've played on their schedule is Michigan State or Iowa. I guess we'll find out that head to head.
I think it's State, but
I don't know. I think Iowa. Iowa when they're going to play a good balanced team is going to get smoked. But if they can play a bad defense, dude, Caleb Johnson can get it going.
100%. But they're not playing a bad defense when they roll into East Lansing.
I don't know. I mean,
dude, we've seen them go up against 2 of the best offenses in the country the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they haven't
went
shown
from
anything
nobodies to the top. They're somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, I think Michigan State. I think this is going to be like a classic, play for the middle of the Big Ten. I think if Michigan State wants to make a bowl game, they got to win this game.
100%. Because this schedule, we thought going into the season, these 4 games were going to be the hardest 4, and then easy last 4.
Well,
Illinois looks way tougher. Indiana looks way tougher.
Rutgers
looks way tougher.
If they don't win versus Purdue, I'll be pissed. Why is that a primetime game on? Oh, is it on
it's
Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, okay.
Can I tell you how much I hate Friday night football, college football games? I get it's a Pac-12 thing and it's their tradition and they wanted to continue it. No, you came to the Big Ten. Your traditions don't matter.
I love watching Big 12 football on Friday night, man.
But we're not in the Big 12 or Pac-12. We're in the Big 10. You don't get to keep your traditions. You can't.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't care if it when Duke and Northwestern played on Friday night. I was like, okay.
Don't make it games I don't care about. I get State's bad, but you also had Oregon playing that game, man.
Yeah, last week. Wow, why is Michigan State getting so many primetime games this year? They're not
dude.
Not that good. I mean,
granted, one of their primetime games was on the ACC network.
That is true.
We get the Big Ten. We're good enough for the network, for the conference network primetime, not for the actual.
Well, I mean, we were on NBC, or was that game? Yeah, that game was NBC, right? Not Peacock.
For who?
Against Ohio State.
No, that was Peacock.
Oh, that was Peacock? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was the cock game.
Yes, I love. Actually, I'm not gonna. It's better than being on the CW network, I guess.
Oh, dude, the fact that games are on that's crazy.
I think it's kind of cool. I'm not the biggest fan of their score bug or commentators, but
of course we're not.
The crazy stuff that comes out of those games. Typically, it's like a curse being on that network.
That's true.
And then Texas at 1. Hopefully Quinn Ewers is back for them in action because they got to play Oklahoma, Georgia, Vandy. Which I can't believe we're saying that's tough.
Don't look out. Better look out.
I think that after this 3-game stretch, though, I mean, you play Florida, Arkansas, and Kentucky, which I don't think are I think you can handle Florida pretty well. I don't know about Arkansas and Kentucky. And then Texas A&M to finish out the year, man. This is a really good college football season so far, and that's something I really didn't think going into the year. But like, I'm actually like pretty happy with how the first year of realignment and everything's shaping out.
I think so. I've been really kind of low on college just post NIL and transfer portal. Like I thought it was kind of hurting college football a lot, but I think we've kind of hit this equilibrium that I wasn't expecting. There's a lot of schools that have finally started to actually kick their NIL funds in gear, and you're getting players like.
Well, yeah, because you're still going to be returning so much. You might as well be like, oh yeah, we're going to spend a little money here.
Right, like you're seeing players staying and coming back, not like to the numbers that we were seeing.
Well, right, because if you're not going to be a fucking day 1, day 2 pick, I mean, you're going to probably make, like Dylan Gabriel is going to make more in his probably college career than he is in his NFL career.
Dude, Caleb Williams stayed an extra year because he made more than he was going to make as a first round pick.
Yeah.
Like the man was making, I think,
$14
million last year.
Caleb,
you muted yourself again. You're muted, buddy.
Okay, I'm back. But no, I mean, I think Caleb made $14 million over his college career. I don't think it was in one season.
Fair enough, but that's still like.
Yeah, no, but like what? Well, Caleb did go to the draft as early as possible. He was only a junior.
Was he? I don't know. Why were they saying he could have gone 2 years ago then? Was it reclassing or something?
No, because he was a freshman at Oklahoma in 22 or in 21. USC Heisman in 22, and then USC quarterback his last year.
Yeah, never mind. I don't know why I thought that then.
But like even like Bo Nix could have gone to the NFL before in the 2023 draft, but he would have been like a 5th round pick, which is what he should have been, but that's besides the point.
Dude, Peyton Thorne. Probably would have got drafted following that 21 year.
Yeah, he would have been. I think he would have been like
a 5th or 6th round quarterback.
He would have been 7th or undrafted, but he would have gotten signed. I do agree.
Right. But now he's still 2 years later.
And then after like the second day of rookie minicamp, he would have gotten cut. But
100%. But he would have gotten.
Actually, he was pretty good. Like I know we say, "Oh, Kenneth Walker made him look so good," but like in terms of like an actual player, like he actually looked like a good Big Ten quarterback that year.
I was talking about this in the group chat. He had 5 throws at his skill positions.
Yeah, that is very.
Think about that as Michigan State.
I mean, half of his touchdowns were like, F it, Jaden Reed down there somewhere. But
dude, I have a picture. I need to bring that into my background. I have the Penn State.
Dude, I was at that game.
I was so pissed. I wasn't at that game. I was in Alabama doing my or Georgia for National Guard. So I watched all those.
Are you going to be going to Florida soon?
Dude, we might. We honestly might, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
In terms of other news, let's talk about the Pistons. Played at the Breslin Center tonight in preseason action.
Why are they at the Bres?
Well, I think it's cool.
It is, but why? They have such a nice arena in downtown Detroit.
Well, because they're probably going to sell more. They're going to because if they sell tickets for cheap at where students are located, that's probably going to get more attendance. Actually.
That's a really good point.
Little Caesars Arena.
You're gonna get a bunch of drunk 21-year-olds rolling into the Bres
or younger. That's besides the point.
Let's say okay.
Like I was at Michigan State.
People know what happens there already.
I mean, bro. Yeah. I mean, when you got Harper's letting anyone in, I mean,
we got mentioned the Tigers too, though.
Oh yeah, no. Big game yesterday. Kerry Bonds, 3-run shot. Oh wow, the Padres and Dodgers game is pretty good.
How's that going? I was watching that at the gym a little bit.
End of the 8th, the Padres are up 6-5. The Dodgers do have to score a run at least. And why do you want the Dodgers to win?
Padres.
I would rather have the Padres than the Dodgers.
I hate the Padres.
Let's take a 2-1 lead over the Phillies. Screw you, Icy Vert. I hate you. Anyway, so the Titans, I really like. Yes, they got a really good win yesterday. Scoot ball Kerry Carpenter, like great clutch performance at the end by the Tigers. Tomorrow they have an undecided wow, it's only $94 to go to the game. That's pretty low for like I feel like
that's come down. I looked last night and it was 140 was the cheapest spot, cheapest stick. Actually, those were behind home plate though, and I really thought about buying them.
Yeah,
like 15 rows up right behind home
dude.
plate.
If they make the ALCS, dude, I'll totally go.
Dude,
we should totally all go if like tickets aren't like outrageous.
Actually, I have an idea. I don't know how it'll work, but I have an idea. I'll talk to you guys about it.
Okay.
Off pod. But yeah, that was a big win, but I'm curious how the rest of I still think they beat the Guardians. I'm hoping Kansas City can handle business against the Yankees. I don't think they can, but I'm really hoping because I don't want to face the Yankees when the Tigers beat the Guardians. I think the Tigers have some sort of voodoo, and it doesn't matter who they're playing.
Right.
But is this? I don't like. Their best player didn't hit very well. Their best bat did not hit very well.
Yeah, they have Alex Cobb starting tomorrow.
Really? That's it. I thought it would. I guess that makes sense. I still think it should be Job, but.
Oh, I'm saying no for the Guardians.
Oh, for the Guardians. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I thought Alex Cobb was a Tiger. I still think Job should. Everything I'm hearing is probably Job throws an inning and a half.
They play on Thursday. Do they play on Saturday if it goes to a game 5?
I think so. No, probably Sunday.
No, it's Saturday. That sucks. Because they play back to back on Wednesday and Thursday, or they play back to back tomorrow and Thursday. So
that's a lot of baseball.
I'm not going to be watching it.
Oh yeah, because you have other things to do.
Well, actually, I don't know how much college football I'm going to be watching this weekend.
You have to get paid. That's okay.
Well, no, I'm actually I'm going to Wisconsin this weekend. So,
he's got a simp, even better. He didn't get enough affection from his dad growing up. He's got to get it from his girlfriend.
Yeah, something like that. No, I know, but I actually don't know how much I'm going to watch because I'm going to be.
That's fair. We'll carry you.
Well, I mean, I'll come back and watch everything on Monday. But if you guys wanted to do a live show on, I don't know if you guys want to do a live show Saturday or not, or just wait until react to everything.
Just wait and find out. We have no set schedule, guys. So
all right, we're talking about the schedule. So we are going to end it here. Thank you for making it to the 1 hour and 12th minute on the board. Make sure you follow us on our social medias at 4th and Goal Pod. You can see it on the screen on YouTube. If not, it's at 4THNGOALPOD. Andrew, any final last words?
Not really. Just thank you guys so much for listening, watching, tuning in every week. I know our viewer count is like 15 routinely, but for you 15 people, I love you.
It's only going to grow, man. I mean, we've been getting a lot of, especially the TikTok. The TikTok's been doing pretty well lately. So
people that watch the TikTok, I love you as well. Anyone that's checking us out, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for your support.
Just put us on, even like if there's ever like you're on the work on like a Wednesday morning and you're like, man, I'm so sick of listening to this stupid talk show and you love sports, just give us a listen, man.
Hey, we're pretty entertaining. We say so ourselves.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed time.
Oh yeah, we're self-proclaimed your uncle's favorite podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate y'all. And keep tuning in. Tell your friends.
Yeah,
it's only going to help us grow, and then you get more content from us as we grow. We'll make more stuff.
The goal is to have this be a full-time job where we're here 8 hours a day just talking about every single sport.
The 4th and Goal Network.
No, but if we ever get to the point where we could be like dropping like 3 to 4 a week and, you know, we're profiting off this. I mean, dude, that's the goal, guys. And we want you guys to reach that journey with us. We want to start having guests on the show. We want to start just, you know, making this a whole family, making this
help
a whole
me
community.
Pay for college.
Or you can look at it in that route. Yeah.
You guys are my college fund, okay?
On that note, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share.